All right, check this out. On Wednesday, the White House released a 23-page artificial intelligence strategy document titled Winning the Race, America's AI Action Plan. It's meant to outline their approach to AI development, adoption, and regulation across federal agencies. And this plan is meant to prioritize rapid AI deployment across all federal agencies, especially defense, by eliminating, quote, barriers to AI development, including rules that could protect creative works. The plan calls for open models and broad access to computing power for startup academics, with little mention of copyright enforcement, raising alarms amongst artists and publishers. And in fact, copyright concerns were only mentioned once in the plan, framed as a general security risk, ignoring publishers and creators' demands for robust protections. President Trump called the copyright rules a, quote, obstacle to AI development, suggesting that AI should freely learn from copyrighted works without compensations to creators. And this is pretty much Trump's MO. He finds something of value and he just goes ahead and takes it, surrounding himself with a phalanx of lawyers if anybody speaks up. He argues that paying rights holders for training AI on their content is, quote, not doable and would stall American competitiveness against China. China, by the way, does offer its citizens copyright protection for creative work. He advocated for a single federal standard to simplify the legal use of copyrighted materials in AI training. In other words, if it's good for one, it's good for everybody, and there are no nuances. If it's out there, I want it, I'm taking it. And as I talked about earlier this week at Midwest Agenda, there is some legislative pushback. There's bipartisan senators Josh Hawley, Republican of Missouri, of all people, and Richard Blumenthal, Democrat of Connecticut, have introduced legislation directly countering Trump's remarks. Their legislation hopes to empower artists, writers, and content creators to sue in federal court if their work is misused, also allowing class action lawsuits and substantial financial penalties for violators. Unfortunately, Hawley has a reputation for going forward with trying to do the right thing and then backtracking miserably. And across all industries, there is pushback and vigilance over AI's impact. The Association of American Publishers initially praised the administration's engagement, but they emphasized the need for vigilant oversight, critical role of high-quality authorship, and warned that academic and scientific research faces exploitation risks as AI expands without clear protections. As I've said before, this is clearly a case of the technology far outpacing the legislation. And while the White House is fast-tracking AI infrastructure and deregulation, prioritizing U.S. competitiveness over copyright concerns, legislators are trying to move in the opposite direction to introduce these liability frameworks to safeguard creators. This, of course, is an ongoing battle, and you can read the full story at MidwestAgenda.com because art in the Midwest matters, and so does free speech, and so do creators' rights. Have a great day.